Hello, welcome to Yellow. Today's story happens on Sunday, but before I start, please watch the previous video if you haven't, at least the intro, because I'm not going to repeat that there's an Iranian or Persian book called HaftPeykar from the 12th century, which is about Bahram the king and 7 domes and 7 colors and 7 planets and 7 wives of Bahram who tell him stories each night of the week. Yeah, I just repeated. So on Sunday, the sun's day, wearing a yellow robe and a golden crown, Bahram went to the Roman princess Homai. They sat under the yellow dome and Homai started her story. Once upon a time, in a city of Iraq, there was a young, noble, handsome, attractive king who was very, very sad. The fortune tellers had told him that women will always be his enemy, so he could never trust them. He had never fallen in love. Instead, he would buy slaves or maids. You know, slave had a specific meaning at that time. But even the maids wouldn't stay with the king for long, because an old jealous maid in the palace would always flatter the girls like a lot and made them proud of themselves too much, so that they would feel like, well, I'm too good and the king doesn't deserve me. And therefore, the king would let them go. One day, a man entered the city with his Chinese slaves. So as usual, the king went to see them. Among the slaves, an alluring girl caught his eye. در میانه کنیزکی چو پری برده نور از ستاره سحری چون شکرریز خنده بگشاید خاک تا سالها شکر خاید. But the slave seller said that this girl had never given her heart to any man. So although she's very beautiful, whoever buys her in the morning brings her back at night. And I've heard that you're fastidious too, so... But the king had liked the girl. He thought, I'll tame her. The girl was perfect. She was kind and smart, and the more the king endeared her, the more modest she became. بود چون غنچه مهربان در پوست. آشکارا ستیز و پنهان دوست. Everything was good, and the king would never speak about the other things. Meanwhile, the old woman was again trying to get rid of the girl, but she couldn't fool this one. She wasn't just a soft maid. She yelled at her and told everyone what was going on. The king fired the woman and became more in love with that girl. تا چنان شد به چشم شاه عزیز که شد از دوستی غلام کنیز. Until one night that both of them were sitting under the stars and everything seemed to be right, the king said, کی رطب دانه رسیده من دیده جان و جان دیده من کانچه پرسم مرا بگویی راست از تو یک نکته می کنم درخواست. He said, Suleiman the prophet and Bilqis, his wife, had a child with a broken leg and a broken arm. Suleiman asked the angels for help. They said that there is dishonesty between you and your wife. Each of you is hiding something from the other. Tell each other the truth. Bilqis confessed that despite her loyalty to her husband, her heart still longs for the love of young men. In an instant, the child was healed. گفت ماما درست شد دستم چون گل از دست دیگران رستم. Then Suleiman confessed that despite all his blessings, he was still eager for gifts from the guests. At that moment, the child stood up. گفت بابا روانه شد پایم کرد رای تو عالم آرایم. The king finished the story and added, now that honesty is essential for every couple, you tell me, why do you refuse to join me? She said, I'm scared because in our family most women are sick. که از زنان هر که دل به مرد سپرد چون به زادن رسید زاد و بمرد. And I don't want to die. Now, you tell me your secret. Why are you still single at this age? شاه گفت از برای آنکه کسی با من از مهر بر نزد نفسی. بر زن ایمن مباش زن کاه است بردش باد هر کجا راه است. Women don't care about love. They can just break our hearts. And I know I'm never gonna marry and I'm gonna die alone, but you, please don't worry about me. The girl said, yeah, good night. Remember the old woman? She couldn't let go of the story. She wanted revenge. She wanted that girl to suffer. So she found a way to know what's happening in the castle and then returned to the king and said, "If you want to tame a horse, show her a tame horse and saddle that one in front of her. Farewell." The king said, He brought another girl home and spent all his time with her. Sorry if you find this offensive. The story is for 900 years ago. But some methods always work. The girl couldn't endure more than a few days. She finally went to the king and said, "I love you. Kill me, but don't do that to me, please." The king said, Okay, this time, both of them overcame their fears. They married and lived happily ever after. No one died, no one's heart broke. And that's it. If you want to hear the rest of HaftPeykar stories, especially the story of Monday, subscribe to this channel and wait for me next week. I'm Sara, and in this channel, I show you the side of Iran that you've never seen. By the way, some people say that yellow symbolizes separation. What do you think it means here? Separation? Clarity? Honesty? Or fear? Tell me in the comments.